The beginning of outdoor means javelin's back on the menu. We're starting to see more and more familiar faces coming back to the track to remind us that professional athletes are human too, because these performances will shock you with how absolutely mid they are. Unless of course they're by distance runners, 16-year-old kids named Gout, or Letsile Tebogo. This week started with this absolute meme of a throw. Jacob Vadlich threw 87 meters in South Africa to hit the other javelin runway across the entire field. This is a feat so unique, it sparked comments deciding whether we should change the javelin again. While a huge throw, this track just has some disturbingly funky javelin runways, so rest easy knowing you're more likely to die by a coconut than get hit by a javelin. The 15th and 16th showcased many season openers at the Hurricane Invitational. 400 meter Olympic champ Stephen Gardner, 400 meter world champ silver medalist Matthew Hudson-Smith, and resident online shit talker Fred Kerley would all give it a crack this weekend. Gardner would try out his hand at a cruisy 300, 31.99 seconds. This marks his first appearance since being carted off at the 2023 World Champs in a wheelchair. Matthew Hudson-Smith gets out with a PB in the 200 of 20.39 seconds, which is a good sign for a 400 meter specialist. Yet more impressively, Jordan Ware, just another NCAA athlete, would take the win in a reasonably sized 0.75 second personal best, running 20.25. What are they feeding these kids, making world champ medalists look slow? And lastly, Twitter fingers Fred Kerley opens with the world lead of 10.03 seconds, with a bold 1.9 wind. Historically, it's a pretty standard opener for Kerley. So jokes aside, looking forward to see if he can live up to that 2021 and 2022 hype this season. Next up would be Velocity Fest 14 held in Jamaica, and it would be chock full of some interesting names, especially in the men's sprints. Akeem Blake, who took bronze at the indoor champs in the 60 meter, would take his heat in 20.45 seconds. An unimpressive sounding time for a 9.89 second guy, but a big personal best, cutting down his previous 20.83 by just shy of 0.4 of a second. UK's next great hope, Zarnell Hughes, would one-up him in the next heat. 20.40 seconds, a far cry from his exploits last season where he broke UK's both 1 and 2 records, and kind of out of nowhere too. But like many others, he's just sharpening up for the real races to come. And the surprise fastest 200 of the day, coming out of Heat C, a Hughes Seville with a new 200 meter world lead of 20.17 seconds. And prior to this, he'd never even broke 21 seconds. So Blake was the bronze medalist in a tight 100 meter last year in Budapest, but his 200 has been notoriously just straight shit. So to see him running like this changes things. First Blake turning heads at World Indoors, and now Seville slicing down his 200 meter best by almost an entire second. The Jamaicans have got something brewing in the background. Now lastly on the women's side, prodigal twin Tia Clayton, who was often overshadowed by her twin sister Tina, lays down a 0.1 best of 11.12 seconds in the women's 100 meter. These girls have been running fast for so long, you forget they're only 19. If these two can bring their A game later in the year, the Jamaican trials and the women's sprints is just going to be absolutely bonkers. Out in Florida, we also saw Kalen Walker with apparently a million-view performance. He put his 60-meter talents on display and absolutely blasted away from this field.
60-meter speed. Walker in front of everybody. Look at the All-American soar.
And putting up a time of 10.09 seconds. He took home a silver in the 60-meter at the NCAA champs. But do you think he can do something similar in outdoor? The 100 meters a different beast. I'm hoping for the best for all the white sprinters out there. Down in my backyard, NZ wraps up their domestic season, and we got treated to 2 outstanding performances. Zoe Hobbs, who took 4th at World Indoors in the 60 meter, would take her 8th national title, coming home in a clean 11.13 seconds.
100 meters and right up to speed now with Zoe Hobbs. She's pulling away, driving all the way to the finish. She takes the title, and right behind her, Brooks.
Running this fast locally, after a 15-hour flight from World Indoors. She is geared for international competition. But the true highlight came from James Preston putting up with classic NZ weather. Gusting winds, pissing rain, none of it could stop him. He nailed his first sub 145, 1 minute, 44.87 seconds. This is the second fastest time in NZ history behind the legendary Peter Snell. And honestly, he had a roughie at Worlds. But running a time like this, in these conditions, nothing but majorly promising heading overseas.
James Preston has lit up the track in a new personal best, sub 145.
The same day across the ditch, young prodigy, 16-year-old Gout had this run. Now that's a fucking gap. 10.29 seconds at his under 18 state champs, and with absolutely no wind at all. His name's been building notoriety down under, and I mean for very good reason. He ran a legal 20.69 200 meter and a 100 meter PB of 10.43 prior to this. But this is just crazy. And of course, the Usain Bolt comparisons have already started. Congrats to the young lad, and genuinely, keep an eye out for Gout. On the final day, we saw some wild results come in from your friendly neighbourhood joggers. We'd see times fast enough to medal at last year's World Championships by 8 runners. This race hosted a huge 10k field, and with a few laps to go, we'd see a pack of 8 trailing slightly behind the Wavelight Tech, which was set at 27-minute pace for the Olympic qualifying standard. And slowly but surely, this pack would reel it in, and heading round the final bend, the casters would go absolutely hard.
Fisher in front of Ahmed, Fisher into the home stretch. How low under 27 can he go? He's showing his guards, can he go? There's Almgren on the inside, Nico Young on the outside. Nico's gonna get second, but it is Grant Fisher, the American record holder, takes it in 26.52.
8 men under 27, spearheaded by Grant Fisher, and followed up by Nico Young, spitting out an NCAA record in his 10k debut. The women's side would showcase almost the opposite type of race, as Ethiopia's Gebre Salama changed the definition of what it means to destroy on the track. She almost lapped literally everyone, winning out by a massive 45 seconds. And still, 3 other runners managed to get the Olympic qualifying time. This is quite literally her, on her last lap, closing in on and lapping mid-pack runners. 29 minutes, 48.34 seconds, the 9th fastest all time. Okay, mid-editing this video, Tebogo went ahead and ran the performance of the week. 44.29 seconds in a 400 meter, looking like a jog, slowing 15 meters out to waltz across the line in his usual showboating fashion. He's 2 races deep this season, ran a world record, and a massive PR in races he doesn't even focus on. These are his personal best now, at age 20. This dude is a fucking monster. I know it's early, but I'm putting all my chips in for him to take the 200 this year. This week truly showcased a spectrum of outdoor openers. And for those of you competing out there, you can use this as kind of a cool reminder. Even the mega stars of the sport open their seasons with some mid results. I mean, you know, in comparison to what they usually do. So don't get discouraged out there, no matter how badly Gout would absolutely walk you in a 100 meter sprint. Thanks for watching. See you next time.